What is going on, guys? Grave here. Today I would like to talk about PvP and Cyrodiil inside of the Elder Scrolls Online. Because in the recent Kinda Funny Games / Elder Scrolls Online podcast, episode 4, which will be linked down in the description if you would like to watch it for yourself, Matt Firor, which of course is the head of ZeniMax Online Studios, which was one of the developers of Dark Age of Camelot, which is a long time ago, shows you how old I am, but which of course was a PvP kind of focused MMO game as well. He really apparently is passionate about PvP, and I know the state of PvP in the Elder Scrolls Online is not great. But of course, in that recent test they ran in March, kind of trying to figure out different things from PvP and how they wanted to make it work. Well, he got into a bit more detail in this podcast, even talking about having 900 players back in a Cyrodiil zone. So if you're newer to the game, you have not played PvP, or you did not play when it first came out, there used to be 3 teams, of course, like there is now, but it was 300 players per team. So a total of 900 players total. Some of those battles back then were absolutely epic. I've always played PvP. I don't know if you would ever call me a true PvP player because I play PvE as well, but I did play a lot of PvP back in the day. And like I said, it's pretty epic to witness some of those keeps being taken over when all 3 teams are there and there's just tons of players on the screen. But of course, as you know, over the years, a lot of things have changed and they had to kind of cut back that player count. He said, quote, "Now it's time to go back and actually look at the PvP system. It's going to come if this test works." He said it'll be kind of where you have a separate set of abilities in PvP than what you have in PvE. They're named the same, they just act a little bit different in PvP to be a little bit, overall the way they're going to perform, how they're going to work. And so as part of this kind of renewed focus that they've had in general in Cyrodiil, which the devs kind of admitted during this podcast has been ignored, and they've been talking about this, of course, over the last couple months, that even though the PvP community has been saying, hey, we want some fixes, they're really now just starting to look at it. And with the way they have kind of implemented that back in March test of the server, or test of how they want the PvP experience to work inside of that Cyrodiil server, they say it gave them the chance to pry out these 6 to 8 week tests to time to develop them 3 months, whatever it's going to take for them to do their experiments. And now if this works, they have the base for a system that they can flesh out in a real new Cyrodiil. So will we see this anytime soon? I'm not sure. It does sound like they're really wanting to do something with Cyrodiil finally. A lot of people may say it's too late, that a lot of the PvP community has pretty much left the game. If they were just a dedicated PvP person, some of those players unfortunately have gone on and they play something else, and that's understandable. But overall, it is an interesting idea to actually get PvP back to its true original form, where there's tons of players in that server, tons of players, that you're fighting against. But also do one thing that a lot of people have talked about for a long time, and that is really separating PvP from PvE when it comes to skills and even gear. A lot of people have talked about that, to where you might have some of the same skills, but they act differently. Or you might have totally different skills. Some people have even suggested that. But having a separation of the two and allowing these skills to act a bit different in PvP, of course, their whole reasoning is it's going to cause less lag if they can make these things perform differently. Because, as you know as well as I do, if you have 900 people firing off tons of abilities inside of the game, it's going to cause some issues. So if they can actually get this to work, I think it's something that they seem kind of passionate about, something they're really wanting to do. And of course, I still kind of believe that next year we're going to see more of a slowdown in content, even though we've moved to the season pass idea. And they did state that this year was a bridge year, that the next several years, looking forward, the way the season pass looks right now is not going to look that way then. I really do think they're going to go down to smaller content, going back to older zones, maybe going back to Cyrodiil, and reworking and redoing and adding new stuff there, instead of maybe adding a brand new base zone, which in my opinion is not bad. As long as there's enough content there, if they're fixing things along the way as well, I have no issue with that. There's tons of things in the Elder Scrolls you can do zone-wise. and if they start adding new things into that while fixing them, I'm perfectly okay with that. So this may be what they're looking at down the road. Hopefully, like I said, they will get Cyrodiil back to its former glory or somewhere close to it. I think it would be a great thing for the game. I'm not sure if everybody would come back and try it out. Who knows? But I think for the newer PvP audience, it would definitely be a lot better experience than kind of what they're having right now inside of Cyrodiil itself. Leave me a comment with your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. Are you excited about this? Are you a PvP fan, excuse me, or are you a person that's never really tried it out and this kind of does interest you, having 900 players back inside Cyrodiil? Leave me a comment, let me know, and of course if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.